feel about challenging books on the first? Do you think books should be able to be challenged under the First Amendment?
I think I should be able to as a parent because I feel like they are my kid, and I have the rights to say what my kid is to learn and know about because you might not have mature yet. I feel mature about stuff.
I agree with Courtney because I, as a parent, would not want my kids to be reading stuff that I would want them to read.
I as a mother feel that it is a parent's job to filter what their kids read and what they don't read because authors write things for a certain age group about a certain topic that age group should read about and is appropriate and what's appropriate for them to read about. But yes, I feel like that people should be allowed to challenge books because of the fact that some can be some that are placed in certain age groups. Maybe parents don't agree with the fact that they're in that age group and they don't like it and they don't feel like their children are able to comprehend what graphic things might be in that book.
Do you ever think one of your books might be a little too inappropriate for the targeted age group?
Some might be because some might be because of the fact that authors most of the time don't really put it in the age group. It's just there usually in the library or the classroom or wherever it is. And kids will pick it up and they won't really comprehend what's in that book and books not age appropriate. So I feel like it should.
Yeah, I do agree with you because you're practicing. But yeah, I agree with you because I feel like it does kind of help you with your books because more people will want to read those books once they get challenged. And it's not like if your parent is like okay with you reading these kinds of books, then you can go and read those books. But if your parent's not, then like just cool with that.
Do you think your kid can adapt to that?
Well, if the student or a child or like whoever get a book for its targeted audience, I think they should also be paying attention to what they're reading, or maybe people just take a word out of the indirect content, and then they might think, oh, the book is inappropriate for my child to read. So I think that maybe the book is not going to be that bad, but maybe like don't take words out of hand too, because authors do put a lot of effort into it.
So what do you think?
To add to what she just said is that our authors really put their 100% time into that. You can't really block, like, one of the quotes, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, but from the story or the thing from our readers, it said that you can't just delete something, even though, you make it so nobody can read the book. You still can't turn down that author's idea for what they wrote.
I agree with Rocky because that's true because you try to get rid of the people are going to want to read it more. The author's going to be motivated to write more about that topic that I wrote about that got there. It's going to just start for a bit of everything.
I agree with Bailey because you can't just delete a book because it's challenged. Everybody will want to read it.
It's true. You can't delete a book because once it becomes banned, it just becomes more popular and it's just like it's there more than it was before.
No matter how hard you try, if you try harder, it's just going to be not be that
The more people are going to find out about it, and then it's going to become more popular, and there's going to be a lot
teachers should be able to understand what's okay and what's not okay to teach to the class. Like, you can't read like Tango Makes Three to 2-year-olds. But you can probably read it to a group of 12 to 13-year-olds, and everybody will just have a good time with it.
Do you think you have anything to add to that?
I believe, like as she said, that as an author, you should probably write for a certain age group and like not let your children read whatever they want, because sometimes books can have inappropriate content, and I believe they should not choose what they should.
Yes, and students, it's not always the author's fault, which is what some people are saying is that the author's fault. It's not really, because kids usually choose, like kids our age usually choose what they want to read about, and it's not always the author's fault. They can choose something that's totally appropriate. A 12-year-old could choose 50 Shades of Grey if they felt they wanted to. And what would the author, like, how would the author stop them? And it's not, it shouldn't be the author's fault if the teachers choose to read that to him, or the child chooses to read it themselves. It should get the parents mad at the author and start banning the book because of that. It's the child's or teacher's fault for letting that be put in front of them.
So on this topic of students, what do you think? Do you think you should be able to choose the books that you get to read, or do you think that your parents should choose what you get to read or not?
I think you get to read whatever you want to. Just because one student can't read it doesn't mean you can't, because they're not judging.
I agree with Daphne, because every student, every single person on earth has a mind of their own.
Yes, I agree with Hannah, because they get to choose what they want, but at the same time, at that young age, they need to listen to their parents on what they want, what content they want them to read, because they might grow up a different way than the parents want them to, by the things that they read and the things that they are experiencing in the book. And it might send a wrong message to some of the kids that are being shown the book.
I think it's wrong for someone to try to ban something that's has like someone's heart and soul put into it, and then just like try to like get out of his way because they think it's like bad, and just like toss it aside because they don't like it. I think it's wrong.
Yeah, some parents will take a certain phrase out of the book, like text out of, take something out of hand, and they just think it's wrong because of that. And there could be a totally different story behind that book, a totally different message that kids won't notice. They'll be like, hey mom, look, and they'll still show them that inappropriate part, and they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna parent that one, so I'm gonna go complain to everybody about that, and it's gonna make
You can't really ban a book based on one little phrase because it's like the author's heart and soul, and maybe they experienced that when they were like the targeted age group age, but you never know. And that's what they could have experienced, and it could be like really important to them, and just sometimes parents don't understand that.
I feel like when you take something out of context, sometimes that's why they challenge it, because they think just for that little word or that little sentence, the whole book is bad. But I feel like there's dangers to challenging the books, and some of those dangers are that people will be against you, and they feel like just because you took that word or sentence out of context, that the whole book is wrong, and people may be like against. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like you some other dangers are like the wrong in their life lessons that they need to know or to consider. They consider their
I feel that also some more dangers of challenging could challenge a book, and that would totally just that would make somebody really, really bad, and they would just start more of a fight, and then having more problems than they need to. So if it's something you really feel should be challenged, that you really think that your child should not be reading it, then it's reasonable to challenge that book. But if it's something that you really, it's not that big of a deal, don't bother challenging it, because somebody could get upset about it and it would just start a bigger uproar, like I said.
Yeah, people might get different ideas of the book as well, because maybe a person thinks the book isn't that bad, and then another person might think the book is like really bad because of the word they took out of context. And I think people should be able to feel free to read what they want, and just because you see a word and you might see a word in the book, you might think, well, yeah, the book is going to be bad, but I think like just give it a chance, and yeah.
Like with Tango Takes 3, it did include gay penguins, and some people may be like, oh, I don't want my child learning about gays. I don't want my child to grow up thinking that gays are okay. And it really is the parents' opinion whether they want their child to read about that or not. And I totally understand that, but you can't stop everybody